This is episode 12, people. We are back.
We are back. Welcome back. Thank you for having us. Right now, Jeff is staring at me because he wants me to say 12 in Spanish.
He's prolonging
and
people.
I forgot.
You really forgot?
Yes, this is episode 12, okay? 12 for the English listening people, which should be all of you, except for if you're in the many countries that you're listening to right now.
The DR listens to us. Don't put down the DR.
Oh, they do, man. They do.
This is episode 12.
Doce.
There you go.
See, I knew it. I just, just making sure he knew his Spanish. But welcome back. We 12 in, man.
12 in, man.
We get ready to bring season 1 to an end. How you feeling about this so far?
Pretty crazy. Went by pretty fast. 2.5 months now. Pretty consistent.
2.5 months.
You know, every single Friday we've brought you guys some value. So hopefully you guys are tuning in. Hopefully you guys have already subscribed to the YouTube channel because it's up, it's live. The comments keep coming in. We appreciate all the love. But yeah, guys, season 1 is gonna come to an end at episode 15. So
I hope that you guys have been getting fed. There's tons of content. So far, some of the favorites have been IdGaff for sure.
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
A lot of feedback on that one. Even as of recent, I think episode 10, what was that, the mentor? How to find a mentor?
Yes.
10 reasons you need a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've been getting, I get approached on that daily. Well, I ain't gonna say daily. I'll say weekly. And it just does us such great pleasure to be out here just, giving back in ways in which we receive knowledge. So as Jeff mentioned, comment, like, share, leave all of the bad comments, right? Say the drama for your mama. We ain't trying to hear it. Nah, we just we want to connect with you guys. So again, welcome back to the Alpha Mentality Podcast. I'm Otis Bird. This is
Jeff Nadal.
And we are here as a podcast. It's not built by, we're built by real people for the needs of real people. We just want to always remind you that we are not your gurus. We got a little bit of life experience. We want to share it with you.
A little bit.
You got a little bit?
Just a little bit.
I got a couple nuggets. I got a couple nuggets to give out.
I got a lot of experience. I was like, because you old.
Yeah, watch your mouth. So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the biggest nation on earth.
Ooh, you talking about America?
I'm not talking about
China?
America. You know, I
Africa?
didn't say the fattest nation on earth. I said the biggest nation on earth.
That's so funny. We were just I was in Florida with my mom. She came to Disney World with us. And she said, son, look. She said, everybody out here just so big. She said, America, we just so fat.
Yep.
She said a large is like an extra large cup now.
You know it really is, though. Like, if you go to Europe, our large doesn't even exist over there.
Oh, it doesn't. No.
It's funny because all the European cars, our cup holders don't fit the large cups.
Our larges are like their leaders over there.
Yeah, it's unheard of. It's like for two.
It is.
Crazy.
So obviously, wait a minute. Africa's not the biggest nation?
Africa's a continent, big dog.
Okay, my bad. But it's a nation, though, still, too. They laughing at us behind the camera over here, y'all. But the biggest nation on earth, what is it?
Well, if anyone was paying attention to our last couple episodes, it's procrastination.
Man, I swear, I think we've said that over 100 times.
We have.
We're going to have to go back and do a clip where we just say procrastination. Somebody's going to put that together. Procrastination. It is the biggest nation on earth. Just in case you were wondering exactly what the heck we're talking about, the absolute biggest nation on earth is procrastination. So define that. Like, okay, so we're going to talk about, how to stop procrastinating today. Mm-hmm. But I think it's you who says procrastination all the time. You take a lot of delight in saying the biggest nation on earth is procrastination.
Because it's funny. I think it's funny because I laugh because it kind of hits home to me. I was a huge procrastinator before. And, it doesn't help. It doesn't serve you, especially when you start doing your own thing, like you become an entrepreneur. Because now it's like, okay, well, your boss isn't holding you accountable. You are your boss. So if you're procrastinating, you're screwed at that point. So I think that's why I laugh a lot. I think back to my college days. I think back to my high school days. I was never that. I didn't have all these AP classes. I wasn't that kid, right? I was just, hey, man, we're gonna get on by here. Have a good old time.
Yeah, what was interesting is I procrastinate. Yeah, that's right. I procrastinate on things that I want to procrastinate on. Give you an example. I'm supposed to work out every day. Okay, I love my Peloton, right? Shout out to everybody that's, the instructors and all of that.
Damn Peloton.
Yeah, I know. You got to get one. I'm telling you, love it, man.
Hey, the stock's low right now.
I don't care. My endurance is high. My endurance is high. So getting ready to wake up every single day. My wife, she had this habit where she was getting up at like 6 something in the morning. She was
Mhm.
doing it because, all of the stuff throughout the day. And there's a good idea to say, you know what? I'm going to wake up in the morning and do the same thing. But guess what I do every single morning?
Sleep in.
I hug the pillow just a little bit tighter.
Just a little- It sounds like my wife.
Yeah, I like to work out in the evening though, anyways, but I do put it off sometimes, I really do. But, I think that there's things that'll stop you from procrastinating in life. Another big one is my wife is late all the time. She waits to do any and everything. I'm looking past the camera right now. Hey, honey.
He's getting a death stare right now.
Yeah, I'm
guys.
about to get in trouble after this one. But she waits to the last minute to go to the doctor's office or anything. But that's
It's funny. We can actually talk about the wives right now. They can't say anything because we're live.
Oh my God.
This is great.
Hey, men, take note. If you ever wanted to say something,
Start a
just
podcast.
Start a podcast. So let's talk about the conversation of procrastination and some of the things that cause it, and some of the things that, listen, today's episode is not about fixing it. It's about identifying it
Mhm.
and just kind of establishing a baseline on what it means to, procrastinate and some of the reasons why you do. There was a study, I'm reading this right now, a recent study. I think it's the USA Journal. A recent study, 40% of people have experienced financial loss due to procrastination. 40% of people,
It's a lot.
because they delayed and they waited to do something, they've had a I don't know, this says a financial loss. It doesn't say major, it doesn't say how big it is. It says they've experienced a financial loss.
Mhm.
So in terms of procrastinating, do you think that it bothers you because you're impatient, or you just don't like procrastination?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, yeah, the impatience one thing, but I did realize that when you do procrastinate, it makes your life a little tougher. It's funny because I used to be the kind of person that would always use the excuse, well, I work better under pressure. How many times have you heard that?
Oh my God.
I work way better under pressure. I'll get it done if I have less time. Yeah, but think about how stressed you are that whole time. Like, why put yourself through
If
that?
you want to do that, create the pressure first of all.
Yeah.
If it takes that long to do something. And by the way, I've been a victim of that in the past. The deadline has to be on. Even in our team,
Mhm.
and we always perform like the last week of the month.
Yeah.
I just go, what the heck, man? So I think I want to kick it off by saying some ways where we can just identify how to help you stop procrastinating. Is number one, I mean, not that these are points or anything today, but just in conversation, your estimation of time is generally bad.
Yeah.
If you're procrastinating. If you give yourself, like, say for instance, you have a project, a deadline or something, and you have a week to do it. Let's say it's Friday, and you got a week. Thursday is when you get it done. Oh, I got a even better example. When you're in school, in college, what does your professor do the first day? They give you the syllabus.
They give you a syllabus, yeah.
And nobody studies until when?
The last day.
Oh my God. Like the week right before a final or something everybody is all of a sudden they're cramming, and then they know the syllabus, and you got, I don't know how long a semester is, but you got all of this time to get things done.
You have all the information in the syllabus too of when everything's due. It's funny because there was very few people that I would actually do the stuff before. Maybe one out of like the few 50, 60 people in the class. And it's like, you're always wondering, like, why are you getting things done so fast? You have some time, chill out. But in reality, that person was chilling the rest of the time because they got it done quick and they were just relaxing.
Yep. There was always a smarter one in the classroom. Always a smarter one in the classroom. They were very diligent. All of the cool kids would laugh at them.
Yeah.
And all this person's a nerd, but the nerd was on chill mode.
Yeah.
And they were getting straight A's. They were honor society, right? And even at in any business function I go to, you'll notice all of the champions just in the room. I mean, you know them because they generally sit up front, but they'll their note taking is a lot more stringent than anything, because they're gonna go back and apply it right away versus somebody who they have to have that perfect condition in order to start applying it. But just the estimation of time, I think, is, in my personal opinion, is something that I think that'll help people stop procrastinating so bad. Do you have another point or perspective on this?
No, I think I think you hit it right on the head. Excuse me. When I was in college, I think I did it the most to procrastinating. Obviously, I went to college where we didn't have tests, we had essays. So I learned how to write really well. 10-page essays, 25-page essays. And I always
25-page essays?
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. At our school it was 25-page essays for most classes.
This guy went to Harvard.
No, my master's theory was 92 pages. So, I mean, but anyways, writing was kind of one of those big things, but you always waited to the last minute because you know you have time and it happens for everything that you do in life. Like you kind of look at it like, all right, well, I have a whole week to do it. I'll give you an example. I get on a flight on Sunday. Ask me if I packed. It's already Friday. It's already Thursday. Right. And it's funny because my wife tells me consistent, hey, when are you gonna start packing? Don't worry, we had a couple days. I'll
Yeah.
probably do it the night before, and it's not that important. I'll get it done. But if you apply that same little procrastination to the bigger things in life, it can really screw you over.
I'm guilty of that as well too.
Yeah.
The whole packing, by the way, just because I'm the guy who just takes everything, picks it up off the coat hangers, make sure I count how many days. Oh, that's how many underwear I need. Okay, cool, I'm good. Right. So I make it, and
Hey, a little side note: do you overpack?
never,
You're not an overpacker.
never,
Oh, damn.
never,
Man, you're sure. of
never.
yourself, huh?
Somebody behind the camera is though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's definitely an overpacker. Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely, without a doubt.
We don't want
Right.
to throw any names out there. Though.
Yeah, Whitney Bird. But so just some other ways to help people identify procrastination, right?
Mhm.
From my, again, another perspective of mine is that people they bite off more than they can chew.
Yeah.
Have you ever got that person who knows how to get the job done,
Mhm.
but so we famously use this. We say busy people know how to get the job done,
Right.
right? But in most cases, yeah, that's a form of they do know how to get it done. But most of the times, people they bite off way more than they can chew. They take on more projects, right?
Mhm.
They become more consumed, and it started off by finishing this in sight, and then they've got 10 more deliverables that they have to get done,
Mhm.
right? Do you coach anybody right now, or anybody that maybe you're instructing to where you have them do this, and then they start focusing on, oh, I gotta go do this. It's kind of like Squirrel,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
If anybody ever seen that movie Up, it's Squirrel, you're doing one thing and then you turn this way, and then there's another thing, and then before you know it, you don't even know what you're focused on in the beginning
Yeah.
to start from, right? So taking more projects than you can handle, so right now, so let me give it to you in layman's terms.
Okay.
So you may be in business. You may be taking on obviously more projects, or you may be doing, more prospecting. Maybe you're taking on leadership role, or your followership role, like you're just blending that. Maybe you're a mom listening to this right now, and you kind of got a routine, and maybe you seen your neighbor down the street that drives a Bentley gives you some advice, and you decide to do other things, incorporate it, because you have another example,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane, understand timing, and it'll help you avoid some areas of procrastination. What you think about that?
I think it's true. I think making a list of things that are most important on that list to accomplish, and then kind of going back down the list, and you make the ones that are least important to accomplish at the bottom of your list. Because I think what you end up realizing by doing something like that is, hey, this absolutely has to get done, no
Yeah.
matter what, right?
Yeah.
And then as you go down the list, you start realizing, well, maybe I don't need to be doing this. This isn't as high on my importance list, so let's
Yeah.
just kind of cut it. And at least that way you can kind of see a visual. Because sometimes you may think like, oh, that's pretty important. But when you really list the things that have to be done on a daily basis, you realize, well, it's not that important, so let's get rid of it. And that's how you can start minimizing, your distractions. Because in reality, when you start taking on too many things, that's ultimately what it becomes. It becomes a distraction. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I do. And so I want to put a pin in that because you
Okay.
just said something. And I think we need to dive just a little bit deeper. I think it's appropriate to sit right here. So you said make a list,
Mhm.
right? So when you make a list, okay, that's obviously with an end in mind to complete something.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you, within that list, prioritize it on what's better for you from greatest to least without getting so involved in, okay, if there's 10 points, I have to do this point, this going to take an hour. This going to take 10 points take an hour. How do you prioritize, what needs to be accomplished first? Do you have a process like that? Is it something to where maybe you're cutting the fat, or maybe you just understand what's lean? Like, walk us through a process on something that you would do naturally.
Okay, so if you have a goal in mind, right, you're trying to accomplish something, you create a list, right? You're gonna do whatever you value the most. Like, hey, I have to be the one to get this done. As you start noticing something that's at the bottom of the list, maybe you can hire that out. You could delegate that to someone else. That's one example to do. Or the next thing that you can do on that list is you start seeing like, okay, what's gonna help me get to this goal a little quicker right now on this list? What's maybe gonna serve me a couple months down the line, and maybe you can eliminate that right then and there. Because, like you said, you gave the neighbor with the Bentley example. Okay, well, you're not gonna have a Bentley tomorrow if you start listening to whatever they're saying in that moment, right? So, what are the steps that you have to take to get to the next level before you can even start thinking that far ahead, right? It's the little consistent habits that can help you build to that.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So right now, I don't know what the goal is for you if you're listening to this, and you can get something done. Like you were destined for something bigger and better. And the hardest thing to do is to actually start doing something.
Yeah.
But what gets in your way is a distraction.
Yep.
You know, maybe it's Facebook,
Mm.
maybe it's Instagram, like me sometimes.
Mm.
Like you guys will post a nice video, and I'll be like,
You like
damn,
those, huh?
like damn, man, I should have been a dog trainer. I'm like, man, I should have been a dog trainer. That's crazy, man. How they get these dogs to do flips and all of that? They don't make the dogs do flips, right?
Yeah, we do.
I don't want what's they called? PETA?
Peter.
Yeah, I don't want them to come after them. So sorry, guys. But again, to avoid those distractions, so somebody listening to this right now is saying, you know what? I want to start my own business, or I want to start that workout program. I need to prioritize. So you're saying make sure to keep the main thing in mind, right? The main thing should always be the main thing. If I want to work out, then I should have a workout regimen. Yep. And I shouldn't have a workout regimen where I include picture time, because the mirrors in the gym is the distraction.
But right? I think the biggest thing to note on that too is you have to learn how to say no to some things that can distract you.
Oh,
right?
Say that again. Say that again. Go ahead.
You got to learn to say no. So what I mean by that, let's dive into that a little bit, right? You may be you have your goal in mind, whatever you're accomplishing, whatever you have to accomplish. There's a lot of times, and I've been guilty of this too, where someone asks you to do something, someone asks you to hang out, someone asks you to take on this new project, and you just want to be the nice guy. You want to be the nice person. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. And now you end up taking on more than you can handle. Not because you really wanted to, but because you wanted to be the nice person. But in reality, that's a distraction. It's detracting from what you're trying to do. So you have to learn how to say no so you can have absolute focus.
I wish you guys could stop, go back, rewind the last, I don't know, call it minute and 15 seconds. Stephen Covey wrote a book many years ago called 7 Highly Effective Habits. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm sorry. Yeah. And in that book, I think one of the things that he's really known for is what you just said. He says to keep the main thing the main thing. And learning how to say no is going to help you on whatever course it is to remedy success. So that was dope. I like what you said about that. That was really good, man. That's gonna be news clip worthy right there, right?
Make it real.
So here's some other idea that I'm working with on how to stop being a procrastinator, or how not to belong to the nation of procrastination. Is people really become perfectionists.
Okay. What do you mean?
They become perfectionists over time. So the right condition has to happen.
Okay, yeah.
The right condition, So I'll give you an example. Number one thing that people want to do at the beginning of the year is what?
Lose weight.
Okay. So do you know, like the last 3-4 months of the year, all they're saying is, man, wait till January 1st. Wait till January 1, man. I'm going to get my body right. Why not today? Why not? I mean, you got the same gym. I mean, the weights work. You just have to work the weights.
Well, what's easier though? Waiting, procrastinating, or doing it right then and there?
That's true. But listen, this is me. I mean, that's you and I talking, but our audience right now, listening in right now, we just want to challenge you. The conditions are never going to be perfect.
Never.
We often say that if you waited to get things like in the right position so that you can do them, chances are you wouldn't get anything done.
Yep.
You wouldn't get anything accomplished. So again, what we want to do is that we want to help you distract yourself from not being a perfectionist, not making sure that the things, just do it. Nike has the best slogan, just do it. I just love it, right? Just do it. If it's, you're beginning that business and you don't know how to put together a business plan because you don't have a mentor, you don't have somebody that guided you, just do it. I mean, information on the internet, we have more information on the internet in the last 20 years than the last like 300 or 400 years.
You can do whatever you want if you really just go research it.
You really can.
You really can.
I mean, you're a prime example of that. The things that you can do, man, it's crazy. I mean, this guy, he like edits everything. He does dog training. What did you just tell me before this video? Something that you said? Oh, he can get sneakers for you.
Oh yeah.
Like, what?
I got a huge sneaker community. Yeah, man.
That's crazy, man. So he's a student of Google, right? But what he doesn't do is that he doesn't procrastinate. I mean, maybe his wife may say something different.
We're not talking about her. She don't have the mic here. We'll keep her behind the mic.
Maybe his wife will say something different. Shout out to Crenshaw and Slauson over here. We never name her. We just call her Crenshaw and Slauson, right?
So just look for the tats on Instagram, guys.
That's right. Just look for the tats and the funny videos, okay? So what do you say in terms of procrastination? So somebody they got the plan, they want to do everything, they have the right mindset, they maybe surrounded around a community of people, but they have low energy.
Hmm.
Like, do you encounter low energy people? They just,
All the time.
ugh.
Those, yeah, yeah. The low energy. See, though, I think those are the harder ones than the procrastinator sometimes, even though they kind of go hand in hand. Because low energy, if you can't pick up, you can't find a way to change your own state of mind. That's a tough one, man. Because you bring that energy out of yourself. If you're always in that low energy state where you're, I'm always tired, I'm always this. You're uninspired, big dog. Like you got to figure out something to get it going. Like think about what's around you. What are you thinking on a daily basis? Like figure something out, and it kind of goes back to multiple things, right? Working out, well, that can change your energy, but most people don't want to work out, they want to wait. Okay, you can start eating better. Well, it's the holidays, I don't want to eat better. So you start seeing how little different trends of procrastinating on this and that kind of play into everything. So yeah, that's a tough one.
Change your state.
Yeah.
As you're speaking, I'm just thinking, change your state.
Yeah.
In order to change your state, you have to shock where you are. Motion creates emotion. And if you have a low state of energy, there's a few things you can do. I mean, in my house, sometimes they may hear me just scream or just do something silly. Or before I get on a meeting, I get on a call, I'm getting ready to present to a lot of people, I do some jumping jacks, right? I may say a prayer.
Yo, it's so funny that you say that. So my wife, when she was actually about to take her test, right? I think it was 1 a.m. She was studying for her test. I have a video of this too. She gets up, she starts, I'm tired. She starts doing jumping jacks. And I'm looking at her like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm tired. I got to get going. I got to get my blood flowing. I was like, okay, cool, man. You weirdo. But she changed her state.
It
worked. She studied for another hour or so. So yeah, no, it really does work.
Yeah, you have to change your physiology sometimes. And I understand that, people are not going to always be high on the high.
Yeah.
Right? But you should also know not to be low on the low.
Yeah.
Put on some nursery rhyme music. Damn, do something, right?
It's more importantly, where are you at most of the day? Like, it's fine if you get to a low point at the end of the day. Fine, we're all eventually exhausted. We need to recharge, whatever. But if your low point takes up a majority of the day, you have issues. You need to fix that.
Yeah, I have a high motor, so I'm pretty much happy all the time and just
it.
like cheeseburger. But the great thing about this is that this is a discussion on some areas that we can point out in terms of getting you to just do it. Getting you to do it. It's a reason why the minority controls the majority in the world, right? Because a few people have figured out that they just have to be willing to do what somebody else is not
willing to do, yeah.
And then go get some results that they can yield because they're focusing on their energy. They're focusing on, not belonging to being a procrastinator and not knowing where to start is not a thing for them because they just do it. If you go search anybody that started or did anything significant, they just did it. It was never the right market conditions. Most people have a big boom in life if they start a business around actually a bad time. 08, 01, in my lifetime, I guess you can call it 2022, just getting ready to happen.
Yeah, and most people that actually did something big knew nothing about whatever it is that they started to do.
Yeah.
They either researched it, they hired someone that knew more than them, or they figured it out,
So what do you say to somebody that's bored? Like, they want to get something started. They maybe again, going back to the same idea, they may have a sideline of an opportunity within people, like people that are doing things. A lot of guys, what they do is that they say, "Oh, I want to do real estate," and nothing, no knock against real estate, but they're just bored with the concept because they're not a negotiator. They don't know how to get out and go do that, right? So somebody who procrastinates can be bored too. What do you say to that?
Well, they're bored because they're uninspired, right? They haven't found something that truly gets their motor going. Like if you're bored with something, it's because one, you're lacking passion in that situation. Maybe it's not something that's fulfilling you. I know, I'll be honest with you, I felt bored teaching at some point. It was awesome at the beginning, but I really got bored. And I would tell my teacher colleagues, like, dude, it got too easy at some point. I was like, all right, it's the same monotonous thing every single day. You get bored, so it's not filling what you're doing. But see, here's the thing. A lot of people go through life stuck bored, and they're willing to accept it. Oh, this is just life. No, it's not. You got to figure out a way to do it. The moment I changed, I feel like I haven't been bored in the last 7 months of my life. It's just been always go, 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 and there's always something new.
That's because we developed a bromance too.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
we did. But another thing that's key that really shocks me is that a lot of people. I met with a mentor of mine some time ago, and I basically told him, I said, I was kind of getting burnt out a little bit, and basically for me, I'm kind of exchanging the term here, but I was bored because there was this mundane approach to things, and he told me, he said, the only reason why you're like that is because your vision isn't big enough.
Mm.
He said if you feel like you're bored or you're burnt out or something like that, that's because you've probably accomplished what your standard is.
Right.
And I was shocked because it was so simple, yet it was so free, for me because I went, wow, he and she, they're right, they're correct. And shout out to G and Angelica. Man, if you guys listen to this and you know them, they're awesome, awesome people. And that's what mentors do. They stretch you, right?
Yeah.
So he said, go back to the drawing board, go recreate higher standards, right? So if right now, maybe you're not starting a business like me, but you're starting a workout program, or you're starting a new job where you have a different role inside of there, right? Go create a vision within that.
Yeah. What are you trying to become?
Develop,
Yeah.
this equity mindset where you can see yourself owning a piece of that pie, a piece of that puzzle, whatever that is. Because I tell you, man, now more than ever in my life, right? I'm in business the last 7.5 years. I am so fired up. Like, I am so excited, right?
He is, guys.
I really am, right? So I want to be able to bring this thing to an end here, right? Just in conversation, right? I want to end it with this last point. I want you really to kind of just take over here and go point. But another idea that just kind of comes to mind why people belong to the biggest nation on earth is that they simply don't see the value in what they're working on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you hit it right on the head. It's very hard. I think that's where boredom comes from, right? I think it's very hard for you to do something and be passionate about it if you don't see value in it.
True.
Right? That's why a lot of people get stuck in it usually happens in jobs, because in reality, who's the person that's passionate about the business? The owner.
The owner, yeah.
Exactly. Not the employee. Very rarely the employee, right? If an owner can get the employee to be inspired, dude, you've done a hell of a job. But if your employee doesn't see it, it's because that's not what they're passionate about. So you have to find something that's going to fulfill you, that's going to find value in you. And usually 9 times out of 10, it's starting something for your own. Even if it's something small, if it fulfills you, if it inspires you, if it makes you, it picks up your energy. If you're able to go 9 to 5 and then 5 to 10, hell, you're inspired. That boredom's gone. That low energy is gone because now you found something that you're trying to stretch out. You have a vision of, hey, we're going to make this happen in the next 5-10 years. And like kind of like what Gina and Angelica told you, right? Your vision wasn't small enough. I mean, your vision wasn't big enough, which is why at one point you felt bored, right? You weren't really inspired anymore. You kind of reached where you felt like you wanted to reach. The moment you kind of snapped out of it, you're like, all right, this is what I want to create now. That energy state changed for you.
Changed,
right?
Completely.
You became more inspired. Like, all right, now I got to do something more. And your energy completely changed and you were no longer bored.
It really is. That's really true. As you were mentioning it, I was just thinking about having these, the vision to create value in things.
Yeah.
And most people, and I don't want to classify the audience as just being, if you're not an entrepreneur, you're not cool or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not the conversation, because there's a lot of there's a lot of retrieval and reward and doing something that is an assignment to you that you signed up for. So I don't know, maybe you're the best damn bagger at Kroger. I don't know what that is. Maybe, when I work, I'll give you an example. When I was one of my first jobs, I worked at Kohl's, and the department store. And I started off by just like folding clothes and stuff like that. And because it was one of my first jobs, I took a lot of pride in it, like any job you should take. And I said, you know what? No matter what, I was gonna dress to impress every single day. I would get my khakis. I had like 2 pair of khakis at that time, right? So I would go through those. And one day they gave me an opportunity because they seen that I was good with conversating with people just on the floor. And my job was to go out and go get sign people up for credit, like the Kohl's credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it was, but it just like clicked at me where I was like, man, this is my shot at the big leagues. I was like, man, here's my way to management now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they gave me the opportunity, dude, I don't know what got into me, but I signed like everybody that came in. I mean, I said her in Plainfield, Illinois, you can go back. I'm pretty sure if they keep track of this stuff, man, I have a record for signing people up for Kohl's credit cards. Some of you listening to me right now have a damn Kohl's credit card because of me, okay? I just want to let you know that.
So proud of
okay?
this.
I really am, but I took so much pride and value in the job that I was working on. So I say that to mention this. You may need to hit a refresh button, whatever you're doing.
Mhm.
You can't see the picture because you're in the frame sometimes. So if you don't enjoy it, step back. Go find something that works for you, or go find something in what you're doing
Mhm.
that brings you more value, makes you
Yeah.
want to get up out of the bed every day. I don't know how people go to a job that they don't like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm perplexed. I don't know how people go to a business, to a job that they don't like, and it just feels like a routine.
Yeah.
It feels like a rat race. Even if you find a way to speed up the rat race or find whatever, you're still a rat, like in the race.
Mhm.
You know? So I was about to get fired up. I probably
You
was.
already are. Your blood pressure's probably boiling.
I am. My leg is shaking. You guys see that leg? That leg is shaking. It came down from episode 1. Our legs were like,
Yeah, legs were all over the place. Episode 1.
Yeah, I know, man. Our knees were like hookers in church the first episode. But so hopefully today you guys got some value out of what it is that we're trying to get across.
Yeah.
Our point is this: is that we're trying to share what we consider an alpha mentality. By the way, that's our opinion. We feel like we have alpha mentalities, and we feel like we're gonna approach things like that. Now that it doesn't mean everything that we do. Okay, I feel like I'm a freaking cleaner as a dad. Like I'm absolute. Like my kids, I do such a good job with my children. Like I love my kids. I'm like everybody. But in business, I feel the same way. In anything that I approach, right? And all we want to do is be able to not transfer so much the words, but transfer the energy and the mindset.
Yeah.
Like the mindset.
That's all it is.
What if
That's all it is.
out of the audience that listens to us, 5% of the audience hears this and actually applies this? What happens?
Changing the world. That's all that matters. I mean,
Woo!
if one person hears that we've done our job, because like we always tell them, we're not getting any money from this. Like we're doing this to kind of help someone kind of snap out of it. And to be honest, all those texts that we get, right? Every single time we
Yeah.
get a text, we say, "Hey, love this episode. Hey, I get people with real examples. Hey, I was doing this, started doing this. Thanks for that episode. Cool, man. That's all I needed to hear.
That's it.
Awesome. Fires you up so that we go to the next episode and we just keep doing it.
It does. It does. It boils my blood to know that we're doing some real cool work here.
Yeah.
So go ahead, land the plane for us. Let the passengers off the plane, man. Let them get out.
Smooth landing, guys. Episode 13 is coming soon. Like I said earlier, like Otis said earlier, season 1 is only 15 episodes. So you guys get us for 2 more after this, right? After that, we're cutting it. And then we will see you guys late August.
Late August, season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. Leave us comments. We'll be posting a story with suggestions of what you guys want to hear coming in season 2, as we have already season 1 all planned out. And then we'll be having a special guest coming on soon too to end the
Excited,
season.
man. Fired up. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Peace.